Hello again. World Sport is back with the Women's European Football Championship, which kicks off here in England on Wednesday. 16 teams drawn into 4 groups, with half of them going through to the knockout rounds and the winners crowned after the final at Wembley Stadium here in London on July the 31st. We've got 6 of the world's top 10 competing in it. And legendary former player Farrah Williams will be keeping a close eye on the action. Among her many achievements, she played a record 172 times for England, reaching the final of Euro 2009. She also played in 3 World Cups and was part of Team GB at the London 2012 Olympics, and received an MBE from the Queen for services to women's football and charity. And delighted to say Farrah joins us now from just up the road here in central London. Farrah, great to have you on World Sport. There are high expectations around this tournament. Do you think it's going to be another big step up for the women's game in terms of profile and crowds and excitement?
Yeah, most definitely. I think certainly that the growth of the women's game in England over the last few years has been massive. I think with broadcasters and brands jumping on board, it's certainly lifted the game, and there's a real momentum around the women's team and the Lionesses going into this Euros.
You talked about how much the game has grown. You've only just retired. How different is the women's game now compared to when you first started?
Yeah, well, the WSL now is fully professional. So it wasn't when I was a player. There were still some teams that were semi-professional. So it's a fully professional league now, which is fantastic. The fact that the media last year, so both Sky and BBC, broadcasted all of the women's WSL games. So it gave opportunity for new fans to jump on board. And there's loads of brands that are now, involved certainly within the Lionesses. And I know that the Greene King pub have got something going on this summer for the England group games, where if you have the same surname as one of the players, you can go to a Greene King pub and get a free beer or soft drink. So that's really exciting, and I think that helps grow, each of the individuals that are within the Lioness squad.
I mean, talking of pubs, we saw some great scenes as people had public gatherings watching matches at the men's Euros last year. Are you envisaging that we'll see the same over the next few weeks?
I'm hoping so. I really am. I hope so. I hope that the stadiums are packed. I know the Lionesses games are all sold out, so that's fantastic. And I hope as the tournament kicks off tomorrow, I really hope it gathers some momentum. And certainly the standard of the teams within the Euros this summer is of a really high calibre. So I think once it gets started and there's interest in it, I think you'll start to see the growth in terms of the fan base. And not only the England games will be sold out, I can see the rest of the tournament games being sold out as well because of it.
Yeah, as we mentioned at the top of this block, we've got 16 teams bidding for European glory. But in your opinion, realistically, how many of those countries can lift the trophy?
Yeah, I think 6 or 7 of them. I think, England are my favourites going into the tournament. I know the bookies' favourites are Spain, but I would say Sweden are up there. You've got the holders, the Netherlands. Germany always come into the tournament in fantastic form, and then you've named them there, and France. So, yeah, they're the teams that all eyes will be on come the summer, and they're the teams that come into the tournament, and I can imagine they all think they have a chance of winning it. But I would say England for me are the favourites.
You mentioned the strength of the Women's Super League here in England, and along with the increased coverage of the Women's Champions League, both here and across the continent, many of our viewers are going to be familiar with the likes of Denmark's Pernille Harder, Spain's Alexia Putellas, Norway's Ada Hegerberg. You've got Vivian Miedema of the Netherlands. Which players are you looking forward to watching?
Well, Lauren Hemp in particular from the Lionesses, I think, she's a young player. It's her first tournament. I think she'll certainly get some bums off the seats with the way in which she plays. She's an exciting young player. But I'm really excited outside of the Lionesses. I'm really excited to see Ada Hegerberg, her return to the national team. She's been absent for a while. And I think she can add some real value to that squad.
What makes her so good?
She's just a goal scorer. She's a winner. I know, I've spoken to Lucy Bronze, one of our Lionesses who played with her. She used to say to her, and when they played together at Lyon, just put the ball in the box and I'll do the rest of the work. So she's really confident in her own ability. And look, if she gets half a chance in and around the box, she can finish.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that Lyon team, beat Barcelona, who'd looked absolutely unstoppable for months in their home league, scoring for fun and not losing or even drawing a single game in their league season. What about the hosts then? You've obviously hinted at how you're not only biased because you played for them and you're English, but also how you even the logical part of your brain fancies them for the title. They've got such a strong squad. You've been in many of those squads that have come really close to a major title in the past. What needs to happen to just get over that final hurdle?
Well, I've already seen a shift in the mentality of the players. I think Serena Wiegman coming in, I certainly think she's changed that within the squad. Yeah. I think that probably held us back for a short time. But yeah, I think this generation of players, I think they like to entertain. There's a different, arrogance about them, which is, and I say that in a respectful way. I think it's great that they have it about them. They're very confident in their ability, and they like to entertain. And they're used to playing in front of crowds. And for long periods of my career and the players that went before this group of players, we hadn't played in front of crowds. We never had the broadcasting coverage. So it was all new to us. I think that they're used to that and they're fully prepared for that. So I think everything around this group of players, mentally, they're in a really good place of it. So I think they have every chance of going. I think they have the best, I would say, squad depth in the tournament. And I think the changes, I think that's what's going to be really important for this team. The game changes, when it comes to that 60-minute mark, 70-minute mark, when the game needs to change, I think England have the best bench to bring some players up and really change it.
It's going to be bittersweet for you, isn't it, watching but not playing?
A little bit. I've got itchy feet talking. I'm like, I want to get my boots back on. And yeah, but I'm there. Look, I'm very lucky. I've been put in a position where I can, go to the tournament as a pundit and speak about the game and break down, the Lionesses' performances. So I'm really excited to do that part of the game and be there as a fan for the first time.
Well, you're a woman in demand, so we need to let you go, but really appreciate your time here on World Sport. Farrell Williams, thank you. Now, from the Euros...